What's up, everybody? Back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing a beer from the 50 West Brewing Company, and they're out of Cincinnati, Ohio, and this is their Whiteout. So they're calling this a Blueberry Walnut Cream Stout, and below it says, stout brewed with blueberries, walnuts, vanilla, and lactose, comes in at 8% alcohol by volume, and no IBUs listed at the time of review. This can is approximately 1 month old. And I want to give a huge shout out and thanks to a good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber, Rod over at Rod J BeerVentures. In the description box, I will post a link not only to Rod's channel, but the beer mail unboxing video I did of all the beers he sent my way, including this one. He actually sent, I believe, 8 total. And yeah, this was the first one that I grabbed out of the box, and I was like, this sounds very interesting. So I've never had anything from 50 West, and this is basically a pastry stout, more or less. So it says stout, it's an Imperial Stout. It's 8%, it's Imperial Stout, come on now. So let's crack this one open. They do have a little spiel here on the side. I'm not going to read it, though. It just talks about, yeah, it's the official beer of waiting out the winter. Winter's pretty much over now, so. Ooh. So yeah, Blueberry Walnut Cream Stout. I mean, that sounds delicious to me. I don't know about you guys. So yeah, that pours out this really, so when I was pouring it, you could definitely tell there's blueberries in here because it has this deeper, darker brown color. It's probably gonna come off pitch black on camera. It usually does. But it had this like deeper, darker brown color, but the head itself has like this off, like almost purplish tint to it. It was about a half finger of a like straight up brown head, but it had like this purplish tint to it. Definitely some alcohol legs on the side, but let's get a nose. First thing I'm getting is actually quite a bit of coffee. No coffee, and this is probably just coming from the roasted malts themselves. And I am getting a slight metallic tinge to this one. It's a milk stout. It has lactose in it. I'm not surprised. It's funny because when I smell it, I'm like, yeah, that definitely has lactose in it. I might be getting an ever so slight nuttiness. I couldn't tell you there's walnuts in here. Yeah, not really any blueberry either. This just smells like a really nicely roasted, like a roasty milk stout with like nuances of like a coffee roast as well. A slight nuttiness. Now this can has been out of the fridge for like 45 minutes, so we're probably 55, 60. Yeah, it has a slight vanilla sweetness to the nose on, especially on that last sniff. I'm not getting any really of the blueberry, not much of the walnut, but I'm definitely picking up on the lactose, the vanilla, and just the base stout character. So this might actually end up drinking a little bit better than I anticipated. I mean, pretty much a pastry stout in a lot of ways, but I think this is going to drink more like just a regular Imperial Milk Stout, but with nuances of those different characters. At least I hope I'm right. Anyway, cheers everybody, and thanks again, Rod. So I'm getting, oh, that's interesting. I like that. First thing I can tell you, the body is like medium to higher side of medium body. So for 8%, it's drinking appropriate. It really does have, because of the lactose, because of the vanilla, has a really nice, soft, smooth, and slightly creamy mouthfeel. There is carbonation there, but it's really dialed back. It's like, it's not even moderately carbonated, it's just lightly carbonated. Yeah, I like the carb on this one, really nice. But the taste is I won't say a complete 180 from the nose, but first thing that hit me was a really nice and really impactful vanilla sweetness. As it passed through the palate, underneath the palate, like on the side of the tongue, but underneath it, you're getting how I'm getting this really nice, like slightly acidic, slightly tart blueberry character, and it's omnipresent throughout the palate. On top of that, though, as I said, it was omnipresent underneath. On top of that, a lot of sweeter milk chocolate. There's some coffee roast and a little bit of that walnut nuttiness. Again, if I was drinking this blind, I probably wouldn't be able to tell you there's actual walnuts in here. I think maybe it would just be coming from the roasted malt itself. It finishes actually quite sweet. And yeah, just a lot of sweetness with that blueberry tartness. I do think with one can of this, pretty much would be happy. I do think at the end of this, it's going to be like almost a dessert. So this is kind of like a pastry stout or a dessert stout. It's not overly sickly sweet at all. It just doesn't have any dryness or any bitterness on the back end to cut the sweetness. So as you continue to drink this, as I continue to drink this, I know it's going to build up the sweetness to when I'm done with that 16-ounce can, I'm probably going to be done with the drinking experience. Well, I know I am because that's the only can I have, but let's say I had a 4-pack of this. I don't think I could drink more than one at a time. I really like the uniqueness to this one. That blueberry character, I'm glad it's not overbearing. It's, like I said, it's omnipresent, it's underneath everything. So again, this kind of drinks like I thought it would based on the nose. I thought it would be just a really well-made Imperial Milk Stout with nuances of every other thing they put in there, the vanilla, the walnut, and the blueberry. And that's pretty much what I get with this one. It's well-made, it's pretty tasty. The knocks on this one for me would be not enough walnut and definitely a bit too sweet. It's gonna build up. That said, for what they put on the can, I think they did a pretty damn good job, and I'm enjoying this one. So rating, on the whiteout from the 50 West Brewing Company, I'm gonna give that a solid 4 out of 5. I really do enjoy this one. I can't detect this as 8% on the palate. There's no alcohol efficiency or anything. And I like that you get most of the characters outside the walnut on the palate. So yeah, I really appreciate Rod sending this one my way. So thank you very much, sir. And I appreciate all of you stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. And until the next one, cheers.